Oh, hi. Hey, guys. Hi, guys. Hey, girls. Nice to see you all. Thanks for being here. I'm happy to be here. This is my third time doing Say Wha, and it's fun to do this show because then once you start doing it, you want to keep doing it, and then when you're out at used bookstores, you look for stupid-ass books to be like, oh, maybe I could read that for Say Wha. So I told Sarah I would do this, and then about 3 weeks ago, I was doing some shows in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I was in a used bookstore, and I saw this book called Stargazer, Predictions and Prophecies. And anytime you see a book with this asshole on the cover, you think, well, that's probably gonna suck real bad. And yeah, so I just bought it. I didn't even look at it. I literally did not even look at it. It was $8.95, but it is autographed by the author, Anthony Carr. So I thought, wow, what a deal, guys, what a deal. I did not even look at it. I just thought, this book will suck ass, and it does. Hey, guess what? Do you think this guy's racist? Oh, you bet. Okay, here we go, guys. Here we go. He does not like black people. Okay. So you can tell right away because the book is actually published by White Knight Book Distribution Services. So you know, if you're ever, if you're like kind of don't like black people and you're like, who should publish my book? And someone's like, hey, we're named after the most violent sect of the KKK. And you're like, yeah, sounds good. Let's do that. This guy is a psychic from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. He's from there, and he writes on the front of the book, Anthony Carr, the man who predicted 9/11. That's what he writes on the front, that he predicted 9/11. No, he did not do that. What he just so you know how good he is in the beginning, he puts all of newspaper articles about himself in the beginning of his own book. And it's literally the first like 10 pages of the book are just things that he predicted. And what he said, he says he predicted 9/11. What actually happened was in December of 2000, they said, Anthony, what are your predictions for 2001? And he said, I bet something bad's gonna happen. Yeah, no, that's it. That's literally what happened. I'll read you the exact quote. He said, 2001 will put the fear of God in us. In his mind, that's predicting 9/11. So you can tell, very good. So the book starts, and we'll get right into it with the dedication. So Brent's book had an excellent dedication, and I would say that this one is just as good. This book is dedicated to me. Shit up. This book is dedicated to me, without whose persistence, determination, and genius the following pages would not be possible. Now here's a little bit about Anthony Carr. Just let's set up a little backstory. So he grew up in the circus. His parents were both circus performers. And then he graduated from the circus by becoming a bodybuilder, and he was actually Mr. Canada in the 1950s. And then he went on from there to be a jazz musician and then a psychic. And so I thought, okay, I gotta check out this guy's website, because there's gotta be some good stuff on there. And he has an entire jazz album, I don't know if you call it jazz even, where he is singing the standards of jazz. And before every track on the album, he has a narration of the track that is upcoming. So he just explains to you what he's going to sing. And they're called Narrative 1, and then the song, Narrative 2. So I'll play you a little narrative, and then we'll listen to Anthony sing, just to set up what this guy's like. Okay, here we go.
I think moving right along here, this is a tune made famous by Drew Bingle. Bing Crosby, yes, and his son Gary Crosby, who of all the boys in the family was probably closest to rivaling his father's talents. And here they do a cheap duet, and this is called Whispering, It's an old standard, and I hope you'll enjoy it.
Oh, maybe I gotta switch. Oh, here we go. Hopefully it starts to play the next. Oh yeah, there we go.
Honey, I have something to tell you.
Yeah, so like not a great singer. You can see why he decided to become a psychic. Okay, so he dedicates the book to himself. Oh, also on his website, he says that he believes he got his psychic abilities because he is part Mohawk, First Nations. But then he says that he is 50% Italian, a third Scottish, and a third Mohawk. So even according to himself, he's 116% of a man. So, or sorry, 112%. Okay, so he sets up the book by basically saying that like everything is predetermined. That's why psychics can exist. That you can't, everything that's gonna happen is gonna happen, and he just happens to be in touch with the earth, and that's how he knows. And so he says that if we are to believe that an event, say 9/11, he's referencing that again, can be foretold, then it follows that no one or nothing can change the outcome of the program, so to speak. It is destined to unfold exactly as it was meant to unfold, whether a psychic, seer, or prophet was present to witness it in his mind's eye or not. For those in the know, namely psychic people, the outcome of absolutely everything is predetermined, and there is no such thing as free will. Either you are pregnant or you are not. There is no such thing as merely pregnant. Which I just thought was a really weird way of talking about free will. Like, no one is out there being like, well, I'm nearly pregnant. I had sex last night, so who knows? It's a very weird thing to say. So then he goes on. First, he likes to talk about politics. And he is he's very concerned about the USSR reforming. This book was written in 2008, and so he says so what he does is he just makes like little like short predictions. This is the whole book. So he just makes like little like 2 or 3 sentence predictions, and that's just the whole thing. And so this one is, Russian President Vladimir Putin begins the job of reuniting the USSR, but is pushed aside by one who makes this current leader look like little Lord Fauntleroy. He is that ferocious. Then he will team with Red China, possibly Korea. World, watch out. He's very afraid of the USSR. So the only reason I read that, it's not that funny, but he literally says the exact same thing on page 11, page 17, page 19, page 23, that the USSR is reforming. So he like recycles his own predictions in his own book. This is a great, so then he also, like, in some of his predictions he tries to be funny and is very bad. Like this one, for example, Pope Benedict, believe it or not, slips on a banana peel while strutting down the Vatican steps and snaps his spine like a twig. Looking heavenward, he is heard to exclaim, "Where's God when you need him?" That's a prediction that this psychic is making. He's going to slip on a banana peel in the Vatican. Then he says, U.S. President George W. Bush, while in office or not, is shot point blank in the derriere, according to my astrological calculations. So yeah, he's a cool guy. He knows a lot, just in case you wonder how much he knows. This is good for us. Terrible weather in Vancouver, BC leaves the Lion's Head Bridge in shambles. You know, the Lion's Head Bridge, everyone knows that. Okay, here's our first racist thing of the night, guys, so I don't know if you're keeping score. The world is going to the dogs, literally. More and more people, particularly the white races, will be choosing pets over the often thankless job of raising children. In the coming years, you will hear women and men referring to their four-legged progeny thus: "Come on, kids," or "How are my babies doing today?" Or, and most sickening of all, "Come give mama a big kiss. Yuck, gag me with a spoon." Meanwhile, Chinese, Arab, Greeks, and Italians will continue to breed like minks. So, congratulations if you're Chinese, Arab, Greek, or Italian. You're apparently still going to have kids. He's a good guy, this Anthony Carr. All right. right, here's a, okay, racism number 2. The Pope from the unholy alliance shall be chased from the high place to flee the turbaned madman. Yeah, he just calls them turbaned madmen. Okay, let's get into the, this is great. Okay, so now we're into the celebrity section of the predictions. The first one is great. Joan Rivers. Tragedy strikes when a puddle of plastic is discovered poolside near the spot where the subcutaneous queen of cutting wit should have been. Probably melted after dozing under the hot California sun, the result of too many plastic surgeries. So that is his prediction, that Joan Rivers is literally going to melt to death. So that's great. He's also very bad at spelling Anthony Carr. He's not concerned about how people correctly spell their names at all. And so I'm going to do a segment I like to call Anthony Carr Loves to Spell. All right, so these are very real spellings from inside this very real book. All right, here we go. Number 1. You guys all remember famous actor / soccer player Kick Douglas? Everyone remembers Kick Douglas, of course. My favorite. So great at kicking and being a Douglas. Oh, and this guy, I mean, one of the most classic movie stars of all time. You guys must remember him from Casablanca. Humphrey Bogart, of course. Humphrey Bogart is in there, definitely. We also, this is great. This is a bit of a, I think just a keystroke mishap. Elizabeth Taylor. Yeah, there was literally just a B after Elizabeth. And the best part is that in the section, as you can see, he bolds all of their names. Like all the celebrities that the paragraph is about are just bolded, so you can see the spelling mistakes in bold. So it's great. Elizabeth Taylor. And this is for, I know Sarah said, I asked you guys about the left wing, and I know a lot of you guys are probably politicos, so you know, very famous thinker, Noah Chomsky. Everybody knows Noah Chomsky. Noam Chomsky's annoying little son. Oh, this is great. Now, I know, guys, the show has been very long, and you're probably thinking to yourself, you know what, John, I'm getting a little bit thirsty. Well, to you, I suggest that you take a drink out of the Farrah faucet. Yeah, he literally spells it faucet, like a tap sink. Okay. Oh, and this is great. I mean, everyone loves the show, That 70s Show, and this guy, I mean, just a real famous dude, you know, everyone's heard of him. Ashton Kutcher. Everybody knows Ashton Kutcher, everybody's favorite guy. Just what a funny dude, that Ashton Kutcher. And last but not least, my favorite, Ryan O. quotation marks Neal. So, who needs an apostrophe when you can have quotation marks? Am I right or am I right? Now that is only a very small selection of the spelling mistakes you'll find in here, so congratulations to that. Okay, now, this is good. Here we go. Some more just casual racism. Vegas lounge lizard Wayne Newton has had so many facelifts, eyelid, and chin tucks that he's beginning to look oriental. Okay. What year is it? I don't know. As a matter of fact, I predict this desert denizen will embark on a world tour which includes China and Japan, where he'll be a huge smash. Because he looks oriental, so why wouldn't they like it, you know? Okay, anyway. I know this is making us all uncomfortable, but it's in a book, so guys, okay? He calls Val Kilmer Fat Man, because he played Batman one time. He calls him Fat Man 2 different times. He's very concerned about calling people fat. That's most of his predictions, that people get fat. Yes, this is great as well. Today anchor Matt Lauer risks losing his job as his womanizing goes right off the charts. The top executives demand he start towing the line or else, namely by setting them up with some of the broads from his own harem. All right, you guys are getting real uncomfortable. I understand. I understand. Okay, so it's only going to get worse. So just buckle up, because this is the worst thing in the whole book. All right, and then I think the racism's over after this one. Yeah, I think so. Oh boy, it doesn't get much better. Okay. Yeah, this is real bad. Okay, with respect to... Again, it's hard hard to read because it's so bad. Please note, these are his words, not mine, okay? It's gonna come out of my mouth, but don't. Okay. With respect to our acutely brunette complected brothers and sisters, Hollywood is becoming keenly aware of the opportunity inequities in the film industry. Therefore, with this in mind, I predict a remake of several former blockbuster movies with an all-black cast. They've already retooled The Wizard of Oz as The Wiz and the classic Sunset Boulevard. Future send-ups will be Batman as Black Man. Okay, this is so bad. And Apocalypse Now as Apocalypse Now. It's only $8.95, my friends. It is only $8.95. Signed by the author. Yeah. Okay. All right, here's another good one. All right. This is great. You guys, I can tell, are having a blast. Same. Okay. No, you know what? We'll skip that one. It's basically he predicts Ellen DeGeneres is going to start liking penis again. Oh, he calls Bill Cosby Sweet William, so time is not on his side on that one. Oh yeah, this one, Tiger Woods. He predicts a scandal for Tiger Woods, but not the one that ended up happening. And then he says that his fickle fans will start referring to him as Pussy Woods instead of Tiger, because you know that's what we would do. All right. So this is the last. Oh no, okay. There's two more things. That now the racism is over. Okay, so just where everybody's on the same page here. This is great. This is great. Okay, so in the end, so he abandons his little predictions, and now he's going on to some full conspiracy theory kind of stories. So this is in the section titled "Was God a Star Traveler?" And so this is from a section called "The Beautiful Story of Christmas: A Modern Interpretation by Anthony Carr." Brackets. Of course. And I'm not even going to read the whole thing, but this first sentence is possibly the greatest thing I've ever read in a book. I have always believed that the Star of Bethlehem was a UFO. I mean, you can't argue with that. Tokyo Traffic should have started with that line. I would have been riveted. I have always believed that the Star of Bethlehem was a UFO, which led the three magi to the Christ child, that Mary was put into a deep sleep by the archangel/star traveler Gabriel, and through some form of extraterrestrial artificial insemination impregnated. Voila! A superior human being who was and was not of this world was conceived, the virgin birth, and the angel of the Lord who appeared to the shepherds watching over their flocks by night was most certainly an extraterrestrial astronaut. Thus we have the beautiful story of Christmas. And then he goes on for the next 3 pages, literally rewriting the story of Christmas as though everyone was an alien. It is so good, guys. It is so good. Okay, last thing. Thank you guys so much for being here and for having me. This is great. So this is, as I said, this book was written in 2007, and he is very concerned with letting you guys know how good of a psychic he is. So at the end of his own book, he has listed some of his fulfilled predictions, because he wants you to know how good he is at doing this. And so he writes, several Anthony Carr predictions for 2003 and beyond fulfilled. So you're like, whoa, holy shit, he predicted some stuff. Then it gets into some weird things, because then he says, San Francisco Bridge, destroyed. Statue of Liberty, destroyed. Lady Justice Superior Court Building, destroyed. All destroyed. But only at the movies. So I guess he thinks that means that was true then, and he goes on to explain that. And this 2004 prediction, New York swamped by a tidal wave. I see flooding in New York. Fires throughout Beverly Hills and surrounding area, destruction of the San Francisco Bridge, Statue of Liberty, Superior Court buildings. In this sense, the world will simultaneously be hit by a double whammy, but again at the movies from the day after tomorrow. And aren't you glad it's only happening in movies so far? But you might remember that a film is often a precursor to real-world events, as well as the depiction of real, R-E-E-L, world events. So then he literally goes on to explain that because things he predicted were in movies, he was right. So guys, I mean, if you would like to borrow this, and I'm sure you will, come see me after the show. Thank you guys very much.